Okay, hello, prospective Laurier students. My name is Jonathan Finn. I'm currently a professor and undergraduate advisor in the Department of Communication Studies. And the other people you see on the screen are students in my course CS 400, Sport, Technology, and the Body. And what we're going to do today is talk to you a little bit about the department and Laurier and why you should consider coming here. So in communication studies, we look at the history and theory of communication and media, and we do this by positioning them in their broad social, political, cultural, and economic context. So in other words, we like to investigate how and why a given communication medium comes into existence, who uses it, why they use it, what benefits the medium has, what limitations it has, why some media win out over others. And we do this as a way to understand not just how communication works and communication technologies function, but also to understand how people use communication and media to make sense of the world, to communicate with each other, and to better understand the world and better understand their own position within that. We are one of the largest and most in-demand programs at the university. So there are roughly 1,000 undergraduate majors in our program. We have a vibrant undergrad community, which has the Communication Students Association, which sometimes puts together events and meetings where you can get involved, as well as lots of other associations and clubs at Laurier. The Communication Studies Department also has we place a lot of students in the co-op program, and we are big fans of international exchange. So we like to help you as much as possible if you want to go away and do an exchange somewhere and come back. So we have lots to offer. As I say, we're a big and thriving program, but I've asked these students to be here to give you their perspective on this as well. So we're going to start with Jordan. And Jordan, could you tell our prospective students why they should come in to see us at Laurier?
Yeah, so I decided to take communication studies at Laurier because first off, I just really enjoyed the Laurier campus when I came here on my tour in high school. But in addition to that, throughout taking the program over the course of my 4 years here, I found that the electives that are offered in second year to fourth year are really applicable to everyday society and culture. And they're very like they appeal to all my interests. So example, this class, sports, technology, and the body. When I'm doing course readings, I don't really feel like it's work because I genuinely enjoy reading the topics that are discussed. So in terms of electives that the communications program has to offer, I think they're really interesting and intriguing as a student.
Hey, Zachary, over to you.
So in my time studying communications at Laurier, I've been fascinated with the support I've received from clubs and extracurricular events, as well as academic advising and the co-op program, which gave me the opportunity to get a feel for what my life will look like after I graduate. I've also been amazed at how well my professors were able to adapt to remote learning during the pandemic. I truly believe that studying communications at Laurier allows you to study in any field in the future while also learning a great deal of information while you're at Laurier.
Thanks, Zach. Jenna, how about you?
I think something big for me was like, especially coming into Laurier, I wasn't really sure about a career path or what I was super interested in. And the communication studies program has really offered me the chance to kind of explore different career paths or just subjects that I might be interested in. Like I've gotten the opportunity to take advertising courses, social media courses, sport and media courses, as well as like television studies, which are all things that I didn't know much about, but I gained so much learning and it's kind of directed me into where I want to go after this. So as a high school student, I wasn't really sure on what direction, but the communication studies has a lot of different pathways that you can go and courses that you can take. So it's kind of helped me see what I want to do after university and getting to try lots of different things.
Perfect. Elisa, how about you?
So, as Jenna was saying, as university students, one of our key goals is to get a job after we graduate. And I think that the communications program at Laurier has set me up to bring employers the knowledge and the skill that they are really looking for. The program has equipped me with a number of applicable skills such as public speaking, writing, critical thinking, and just interacting with others. And because of this, I know that I'm ready to graduate and start my journey, and I'm sure a lot of other students are as well.
Thanks. Nicholas, how about you?
Yeah, so I started in the communication studies program because I wanted to gain more of a critical perspective on communications and mass media. And then throughout the 4 years, I've kind of realized that there's an opportunity to concentrate on specific areas of communication, which I find to be fascinating for me and gear myself towards something that I'm interested in. So, for example, I'm concentrating in digital media studies, which is something I want to look forward to after university. So communications program really can help you gear you towards your interests.
Ashley, last but not least.
So what I really like about the program is that it's very broad or as specific as you want it to be. I know you can take a variety of electives and courses. I started off taking some business electives in my first year, and then now I'm graduating with a minor in English and education. So it's really all over the map, and it is what you make it. It will change throughout the years, and that's kind of the beauty of the program. You get a lot of flexibility in what you want to study in terms of what you're interested in. So if you want to take a bunch of film studies courses to back up your communications degree, that's amazing. But if that's not what you're into, you can do something like I did and do English. So yeah, it's very broad or as general as you'd like. So lots of flexibility.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so one thing that a lot of you touched on that's built into the program is that kind of flexibility. So Jordan, as you say, from the second to fourth year, there's more and more offerings. In the first year, you take those 2 introductory courses, which are big survey courses covering covering the extent of media history, and then you get into more specialized topics. So Nicholas, who wants to concentrate in digital media studies, we have concentrations in global communication and visual communication and communication history, in cultural and creative industries. Some of the courses, technology and society, creative industries, media and sport, internet studies, health communication. And then we're also always adding special topics or new courses as, as the world changes and as things come up and as faculty develop new research profiles, we continually add new things, which is imperative given that we're studying communication and media. So we have to kind of follow what's happening. So there's lots, you touched on lots of other things there. And so another thing that I wanted to ask you all to respond to is, now that you're in your 4th year and you're almost on your way out the door, what's something that you would like to say to your former prospective self when you were 4 years ago thinking about going into university? What's something you know now that you would have liked to known then? This will go reverse. Ashley, let's start with you this time.
Sure. The one thing that I always tell people that are coming into first year is join a bunch of clubs and try different courses that you probably wouldn't think you would like, just to see, because you might be surprising yourself and end up in geography or something crazy like that. So just join a bunch of clubs. You'll meet so many people and find your interest that way. And kind of stick through the communications courses at the beginning. They might seem pretty broad, but I promise as you get into the years and take electives that you're interested in, it will suit you the best. So yeah, just stick it out, meet a bunch of people, and have a ton of fun.
Nicholas.
Yeah, to go off the participation aspect, I guess I kind of regret at least first year not getting involved with certain clubs. And we can talk about communications, for example. Last year, I had an opportunity to volunteer at the open house, which was great. So there's various ways to get involved. You don't have to join a club necessarily. You can volunteer, do stuff like intramurals. Just get involved because you meet so many people, particularly in your program. So that's an advice I would give.
Good. Elisa?
So I think that as humans, we're generally fearing change and, resisting it. But I would tell my 18-year-old self that change presents the opportunity for growth. And instead of fearing it, just, see it as a positive thing that you can embrace, and just going into university, seeing all the open doors that open. It's an amazing way to look at your future.
Good. Zachary.
Yeah, I just wish I knew how much professors really want to help you. I had this perception in high school that you're pretty much just a number in university and that you're not really going to know your professors and they're not going to know you. And I think it took me until 2nd or even 3rd year to realize that you do get to know your professors and they get to know you if you make the effort. And the great thing about communications is that you have a lot of smaller classes where you can make those connections, and I've enjoyed my time here significantly.
Perfect. Jenna.
I would say something that I wish I knew comes from a more academic standpoint in the communications. Just from personal experience, when I was coming into the program, I don't think I paid really close attention to like the program requirements, and I didn't look at them too much in depth. And that ended up in me only thinking that I only had to take the required communication courses, where you really have to take like a certain number of courses in communications department. And I think that caused some stress. So just like making sure when you get to university in like first year that you look at all of the requirements so that you can maybe make a plan for your 4 years here. And I think that would have changed a lot for me in stress. And like sometimes I would take summer courses, and I actually really enjoyed taking the summer courses and just like getting ahead sometimes. But I think making a plan for your 4 years was something that I definitely could have done better when I first got here.
All right. Bring it home, Jordan.
I guess if I could tell my 18-year-old self something prior to coming into first year at Laurier, it would be that I feel like it was a big jump from, especially like moving away from home or like academic wise. But what I would say to myself is that like it does get better, and like you learn how to manage everything. Like you're more comfortable being on campus away from home. Like you become more comfortable managing all your schoolwork. So I would say that it definitely, like, you definitely learn how to manage everything, and it does get better if you're a little stressed out, and it's okay if that doesn't happen right away. Eventually you meet friends in your program or your new roommates or in residence who can really help you through that. In addition to that, I would also reiterate getting involved. That definitely made me meet a lot new people, have a lot more friends, and just applying for different jobs, whether that be like in athletics or throughout the school, clubs, intramurals, great way to get involved while having fun and making memories.
All right, perfect. All excellent responses. Thank you very much. Zach, thanks for pointing out that profs are genuinely interested in students. We like to talk to you. We like to interact with you. And Jordan, yeah, the first year can be really, really tough. And so one of my roles as an academic advisor is to talk to students about that, right? And this goes to your point as well, Jenna, about those kinds of plans to help you work through, am I on track? What do I need to do in second and third year to do this, right? To help you with exchange, all of those kinds of things. So there's tons of support out there and people that want to help. You just have to go and look for them. The last thing I'll say comes from both the father in me as well as the professor in me, which is, yes, of course you should get involved and do as much as you can, but make sure that the schoolwork comes first. And for those that are coming into Laurier next year, I will be teaching CS 100, I believe, in the winter term. So I will be teaching one of those big challenging survey courses that we have in the first year. And I give you my solemn oath that I will do my best to make it as interesting and rewarding as possible. Okay, so if you have questions, you could email me at jfinn@wlu.ca. I will happily get back to you, or any of the other people that you've been put in touch with through the recruitment office. Good luck making your decision, and thank you very much. Bye.